Because anything you can think of or conceptualize with your mind can't be God, because God is beyond that. So it's very complicated stuff. I don't know what I believe. I believe in love, and I believe that Maharaj-ji is the whole universe, and Maharaj-ji is that love, and the love is where I want to be. I don't need to know any more than that.
Welcome to the Krishna Das Pilgrim Heart Hour. In this podcast, Krishna Das shares his warm-hearted and down-to-earth path to the divine. If you are interested in supporting Krishna Das's podcast, please go to BeHereNowNetwork.com/KD.
Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo 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 Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ram Ram Sitaram Ram Ram Sitaram Taram Sitaram Ram Ram Sitaram. Ram Ram Sitaram Ram Ram Sitaram Taram Sitaram Ram Ram Sitaram. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ram Ram Sitaram Ram Ram Sitaram 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 Ram Ram Sitaram Ram Ram. Ram Ram Sitaram Ram Ram Sitaram Sitaram, Sitaram, Ram Ram, Sitaram, Ram Ram. Hari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ram Ram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram, 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 Ram Ram, Sitaram, Ram Ram. Ram Ram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram, 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 Ram Ram Sitaram. Hari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ram Taram, Ram Ram Sitaram, Taram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram. Ram Ram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram, Taram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram. Hari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ram Ram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram, Taram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram. Ram Ram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram, Taram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram. Hari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram, Taram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram. Ram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram, Taram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram. Hari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Do you still miss the physical form of Neem Karoli Baba? Absolutely. I mean, all the beauty in the universe was wrapped up in that blanket. And these eyes were blessed to actually see that beauty and to know that they were seeing that beauty. It was a whole other level. I mean, we see beauty all the time, but I knew that I was seeing this incredible love, incredible beauty. So of course that's missed for sure. But it took me a very long time to figure out that I had to look for that love inside of myself and that beauty inside of myself. And that's part of the game. That's Krishna play. He shows up and he disappears, and your heart bursts and you look for him everywhere until you recognize you have to find him within. So I absolutely miss that. And if I saw him with the physical eyes, that's where I'd be if he let me. But this is what he's organized for me, arranged for me. Exactly what's going on now is his show, not mine. And this is where we're at. So, of course, I miss him, the physical presence, but I don't miss him because he's with me. He's everywhere all the time. And it's just a question of me remembering to look. And I'm no different than you. Yes, I had that physical presence, and I was very blessed to have that. But what I went through when that physical presence disappeared, I wouldn't wish it on anybody. So you don't have to go through that torture. You can find him within right now because he's always with us. He's nowhere, there's nowhere else he could be except right here. So it's up to us to do what's we have to do to find that presence within. Because we're looking for it outside all the time and we'll never find it out there. I'm very attracted to Buddhism, but I believe in a creator God. Can I still be a Buddhist and believe in a creator? Well, I'm not going to answer that question on the level you're asking because it's complicated. Certainly, technically in Buddhism, they don't. I don't know how to say it. Anyway, you say you believe in a creator God. I don't even know what that means. Do you? Oh yeah, a God who created this whole universe. Well, what does that mean? I mean, what does that God look like? Is it a guy, a woman? Is it a combination of both? Is it neither? Is it a sky or a cloud? Or is it because anything you can think of or conceptualize with your mind can't be God, because God is beyond that. So it's very complicated stuff. I don't know what I believe. I believe in love. And I believe that Maharaj-ji is the whole universe. And Maharaj-ji is that love. And the love is where I want to be. I don't need to know any more than that. And as far as Buddhism is concerned, I find it very helpful to understand how the mind works, to understand how attachments cloud things, and how the delusions we have, the things we think we believe that we don't really know at all anything about. It's not necessary to believe anything. It's necessary to find out what's here right now. Who is here? What's here? Who are you? And whether somebody made you or somebody didn't make you, let's find out, let's deal with what's in front of our faces right now, which is you and me right here. What's somewhere else is somewhere else. That's the way I feel about it. I don't say I don't believe in a creator God. I'm open to anything. But what all I know is that my own shit causes suffering for me and other people. So I want to let go of that so I can remain in love all the time, in presence, in being. Anything more than that is above my pay grade. So. In Portland, Benji Wertheimer was playing, what's it called? It's a box, a cajon it's called. And it was not a sarod he was playing, it's called an esraj. It's kind of closer to a sitar than a sarod, but it's kind of a combination of both. Very beautiful instrument. Benji Wertheimer from Shantala with his wife Heather. They have a beautiful group. How does one bear the sufferings and anxieties of life in a wise way? Many days I want to just run off to some cave or temple. the sufferings are not outside of you. You're talking about your reaction to the sufferings, and that's something you can never get away from, no matter where you go. And you'll never find peace of mind by cutting yourself off from beings. You might find it temporarily peaceful or less turbulent state, but as soon as there's some turbulence, you lose it. That's not the real thing. So how does one bear it? One has to bear it because there's nothing else one can do. And when I say bear it, one has to learn to live with it in a good way so that it doesn't destroy us. What's the good of it? So all of spiritual life is about relieving suffering in ourselves and others. It's not about running away from suffering. You can't. You can't. There's no place in this world that does not have suffering. And that was the first thing that Buddha spoke. Monks, there's suffering no matter where you go. There's either too much or too little, or too much or too little, or too little or too much. And that doesn't work. This world doesn't work. There's either pleasure or pain. Neither one of those lasts. There's always change. Reality is unchanging presence, so to speak. And that's underlying all the thoughts and emotions that we have. Yeah, this guy, thank you, Tim. I got on with a tech at Apple once who helped me fix my iMac, and he said, "Are you Krishna Das?" And I said, "Well, sometimes." Good, thank you, nice to see you. It's still working, thank you. What was it like collaborating with Sting on Mountain Hare Krishna? Yes. No, I'm not in touch with Sting these days. I was closer to him in those days because of Sharon and David from Jiva Mukti invited me to go with them to his house in Italy, where we did a retreat for 5 days or a week. And I remember saying to him, I'm going to do a new CD and I'm looking for some backup singers. And he said, "Hey, great, yeah, let me know." So by the time I was ready to ask him to sing with me, he had left New York and was in London. So I had to send him the tapes. In those days, I don't think we had it together yet to digitally, over the internet, send the music. So we actually had to send him a tape. And he recorded quite a number of harmonies to the Mountain Hare Krishna. And here's a funny story. He recorded like 3 or 4, maybe 5 different tracks of harmonies, and we put them all together. But he, at the end of one track on the recording, he said, "Give me another track," like give me another beer, give me another track. So I made a special mix of that song for him, which I sent to him. I don't know if he ever heard it, where at the end of the song is over, and then you hear him go, "Give me another track." And then you hear me in a big booming voice go, "No." But I don't think he heard it. Anyhow. Did Maharaj-ji ever meet Ramana Maharshi? Maharaj-ji was in a little town in the foothills of the Himalayas. And late at night, he pulled his blanket over his head and he started weeping profusely. And then he came out of the blanket and he said, "He's so thirsty, he's in so much pain. Give me some water, give me some water." And he sipped some water. And he said, he's in so much pain, he's in so much pain. India is losing such a saint. And it was precisely the very time that Ramana Maharshi was leaving the body. So these great beings are always connected. You were recently in my dream. I just finished a sadhana of repeating the Hanuman Chalisa 11 times for 108 days. In the dream, you told me now to do it 22 times a day. What gives? Don't ask me, it's your dream. And my advice to you is not to listen to everything in your dreams. They're dreams. But if you feel like doing it 22 times a day, knock yourself out. I have nothing to do with it. What do you do when you really want to chant, but you're feeling sleepy? Go to sleep. And when you wake up, chant. You told us Maharaj used to say, feed people and serve them. Do you think we should actively search for people in need and do some service? Well, like my grandmother used to say, it wouldn't hurt. Well, it's better than robbing banks. It's better than streaming TV for 3 days, 4 days at a time. Wouldn't hurt you. It'll help you start thinking about other people instead of yourself all the time. There are plenty of people that need all kinds of help. Right now, it wouldn't be hard to find some group that needs somebody to ladle out soup or do something. So sure, it's not a bad idea. But don't get a big ego about it, that you're saving the world. You're just hopefully finding a way to let other people into your heart a little bit. And so, in so doing, develop some real love and real compassion. But sure, if you have the ability to help people, it's a wonderful thing. Wonderful thing for them and for us. How do we know when to continue in a quote-unquote karmic battle or when to let go, specifically with people we love but who may be cruel, material-based? It takes some time to even recognize the ways that we engage in hurtful relationships. It takes some time to notice and understand the ways that some relationships are not healthy. And I don't think it's a good idea to be trying to change anybody because we can't even change ourselves. So if a relationship has become too painful and too hurtful, violent, nasty, whatever, you should just find some way to get out of there, if possible. And this doesn't require you to do something hurtful to that person. It doesn't require you to cause more suffering. But loving a person means letting them be who they are. And if a person is violent, hurtful, nasty, vicious, manipulative, controlling, you're the one who picked that relationship. So that fulfilled some need in you to be in a relationship with that kind of person. Maybe that need doesn't exist anymore, so maybe you're free to go. But it's not easy, very complicated, and can be very painful. But you have to listen to your heart about what the best thing to do is for yourself, and if you have children in the relationship, what's the best thing for them. It's not simple, very complicated stuff, but the process, going through the process of trying to find out what the right thing to do is good work. And spiritual practice can help get you some clarity about things. So that's good. Oh, what's the place? I'm really bad with names. Pandharpur, and I believe it's in Maharashtra. It might not be, but I think it is. Pandharpur. And the name of the form of Krishna is Vitala. And so, yeah, but you can read about that. MC Yogi and I collaborated on a tune or two, and I still have a track that he created that I'm going to do Hanuman Chalisa with as soon as it's like 10 years later, but I still have that track. He gave it to me, and I'm going to sing Hanuman Chalisa over it as soon as I get a chance. Do you think it's possible to endure litigation with love and presence? Well, if you can endure litigation with love and presence, you are a saint. But of course it is. I mean, you get a chance to work with all your anxiety, with your fear about the future, with wanting things that you can't have or not have, or the fear about how this is going to work out, or it's life, it's just life. Litigation can be pretty nasty because the other side, the lawyer on the other side, is out to win at any cost. And your lawyer is out to win at any cost and protect you, and the other versa. So litigation, especially with relationships, can be very horrible. Very, very horrible. So you just keep breathing, and sooner or later it'll be over. Okay. I'm deeply pulled to Ramdas, and then I want to chant and connect with the satsang. My husband is so not interested. How do I honor him and love him and not cause suffering and also follow? You can love him, you can honor him, and you can go do what you want. Why do you need it? Why should that? If that bothers him, then he has control issues. You're not doing anything to hurt him or to, you're not trying to leave him. You're not trying to convert him. You're just following your heart. And if he loves you, why would that be a problem? But I remember a woman came to me and said, my husband's going to divorce me. I don't know what to do. And I said, oh, really? Well, what's going on? She gave me some long talk, and then she happened to mention, and I play you on the. We have a wireless sound system in the house, and I play you in all the rooms all the time. I said, turn me the fuck off and keep your marriage, and that's what she did. Why was she playing me? Her husband's not into this. Why was she doing that to him? It's crazy. So she turned it off, and she's still married. But, we just have to take care of ourselves, do the best we can, and try to lighten the load of suffering in this world. There's not much we can do, but we can do something. And a good thing. I guess there's no more questions today. Hanuman is the patron saint of wrestlers in India, actually. But Maharaj-ji, as far as I know, never said anything about that, physical exercise. Maharaj-ji could do anything with his body. He could put his hands on the ground and do a somersault without taking his hands off the ground. In other words, he could make his shoulders do a 360 circle without taking his hands off. He could do anything with his body. He had he had the holes in his ears, which were all healed up. He had probably been a Nath, N-A-T-H, a Gorakhnath yogi at some point in his life. He had probably been initiated in that. And so as a result, he knew everything, the yoga, the pranayams, the yoga, but he never talked to us about that. He just said, these people can get everything through loving devotion. So I'm not going to argue with that, that seems to be the story. What do you do when it's feeling just too much? External pressures of the world can feel so heavy. Yeah, and in these pandemic times, it's even heavier than ever for us, for all of us. We're breathing in the heaviness. That's why practice is so important. And when I say practice, I don't mean sitting down and going, I mean letting go. Put on some music, dance. Put on it doesn't have to be chanting. Find a way to let go and release the tension in the body. And then sit down and let the mind come to rest a little bit. Like a leaf gently falling to the ground. Just let the mind settle a little bit. Get used to that feeling of letting go. The thoughts will cut you up, cut your mind up, just keep practicing letting go. That's what we can do. And if we don't do it, then we're constantly going to be the target of our own anxiety, fear. So we have to do some letting go. How do you give up trying to control things? Well, let me see. What are you trying to control? Your breath? No. Your mind? No. Oh, other people? Forget it. You realize it's ridiculous. Trying to control someone and make someone do what you want them to do, or make the world behave the way you want it to behave, you recognize that it's completely ridiculous. So, unless you're in some kind of S&M relationship where a person wants to be controlled and told what to do, well, then that could make you very happy for a while. Who knows? But ultimately, we can't control anything because we can't even control our own minds. We cannot tame the mind. We only think about ourselves and what we want and what we don't have and the negative things that we have all the time. That's all we think about. So, the illusion of control. We don't have any control. Yeah. When somebody says, don't think about tomatoes, you're just going to think about tomatoes from now till the end of time, because we have no control over our minds. So we have to find a way to give ourselves a break. Be a little bit kind to ourselves and not be so harsh and hard. A lot of this harshness that we feel these days is in the air. It's in the atmosphere. There's war. There's war going on. People are being killed for no reason, for no good reason. They're just being killed for politics. And there's people suffering and starving, and the climate is going to shit, and the food chain is fucked up. It's really bad. And we should feel that. I mean, we can feel that. What we don't want to do is let it totally destroy us. Because you can't push it away. It's here. That's the way things are. But we can find a way to be with it and not be destroyed by it. That's the deal. That's why we do our practices, ultimately. So our hearts can be available to others and to ourselves as well. I remember hearing on your podcast that you said you hadn't done LSD since the 70s. Was it the 70s? No, it was the 60s. Maybe I did it once in India. Ramdas gave me some acid, but it was so old that it hardly worked. I just went to sleep. Hearing on your podcast, you hadn't done since, you said it make you happy and childlike. May I ask why you haven't used the medicine in so many years? Yeah, because I realized that if I kept catapulting myself, launching myself into outer space and then crashing up and down, that was not healthy. And I realized if I stopped doing that to myself, that the plateau of my consciousness would slowly rise and I wouldn't have to go up and down and up and down. And I think that was a blessing that I got from Maharaj-ji, or a thought that came from deep within me, and it allowed me to stop messing around with those things, because while, like he said, LSD can bring you into the room with Christ. He said that. He also said, but you can't stay. Don't you want to stay? So after you've been into the room with Christ a few times and you know the room is real and Christ is real and the world is actually not what it seems to us, then it behooves us to try to get there, to try to find a way to live in that all the time. And LSD will not do that for you, plain and simple. My sister has severe depression and doesn't want to seek any help. How can I create more peace and accept her? I'm not sure what you mean by accept her. I mean, she is who she is, and you can't change her, but you can, the loving kindness practice is a wonderful practice where you offer loving kindness. You offer feelings of friendship and love to someone. You surround them with love, and you're not trying to change the person. You're simply offering your heart to that person. And it's not out loud. You don't go, hey, I'm doing loving kindness meditation for you. No, you just do it. It's a type of prayer. You're praying for that person, and you're including that person in your loving heart. Whatever they have to go through, they have to go through. And the more you accept who that person is and accept them as they are, you're actually creating some possibility for them opening up to you in a different way, which might help them. But, we can't even do that for ourselves. How are we going to help another person? Well, we try. And if someone doesn't want help or can't accept help, let them be. Do what you can for them, but let them be who they are. It's not your job to live their life. When you see an aspect of yourself that you don't like during meditation, do you ask for help to transform it? You can. Who would you be asking, though? Basically, you're just talking to yourself in your own mind, which is okay. You can ask yourself to help yourself. You can ask Maharaj-ji because he's always available, or Hanuman, or you can do Hanuman Chalisa and try to let go of that negative energy or that negative version of yourself that you see. Hanuman Chalisa is a very powerful practice. It's a very powerful practice, and Maharaj-ji specifically introduced us to that practice. And he encouraged us to do that practice. And he said that Hanuman Chalisa, every word, every line of Hanuman Chalisa is Mahamantra. It's the name, it's the powerful practice. And that chanting Hanuman Chalisa can actually change karma. So what that means is beyond me, but still it's a very powerful practice. And by doing it regularly, you're connecting a part of yourself to a deeper part of yourself, which is a great blessing. And so if you ask me what to do, I would say do Hanuman. I would say get a microphone that works. I would say do Hanuman Chalisa. The repetition of the name, through the repetition of the name, everything is accomplished. Every line of Hanuman Chalisa is Mahamantra. Hanuman Chalisa can change karma, can free us from negative karma. But it has to be done. You wouldn't do it just for that. You would do it as a way of connecting to a deeper place in yourself, connecting to Maharaj-ji or Hanuman, but we don't really know who these beings are. But still, that's what those beings said. Hanuman is known as the remover of obstacles, the destroyer of calamities and suffering, the ocean of compassion, the ocean of grace. So it's very clear that that's a positive, wonderful, powerful practice to connect to that kind of energy, which is pure goodness. There's no danger there. There's no negativity. There's no nothing. There's no manipulation. It's all free and open and available to us. But we have to do it. And that's what we're going to do now. Hanuman Chalisa. Shri Hanumate Namo. Shri Guru Charana Saroja Raja Nijamana Mukuru Sudhari Varano Raghubhara Bimala Jasu Chodaya Kupalachari Buddhihina Tanu Janike Sumiram Pavana Kumar Siaram Bala Buddhi Vidya Dehu Mohi Padu Kalesh Bekar Syavara Ramachandra Padaje Sharanam Jaya Hanuman Gyana Guna Saga Jaya Kapi Sati Hum Loka Pujara Ramaduta Atulita Baladham Anjani Putra Pavana Sutanam Mahavira Bikram Bajarangi Kumati Nevar Sumati Kesangi Kanchana Varana Viraja Subesa Kanana Kundala Kunchita Kesa Hatha Bajroda Dvaja Viraje Kande Munja Jane Usaja Shankara Suvana Kesari Nandan Teja Pratapa Mahajagabanda Vidyavan Guni Ati Chaturam Kaja Karibeko Atu Prabhu Charita Suni Beko Rasya Rama Lakhana Sita Manabasya Sukshma Rupa Darisya Hindakawa Vikata Rupa Darilanka Jarawa Rupadari Asura Sanhare Ramachandra Ke Kaja Sanware Vaya Sajivana Lakana Jiaye Raguvira Hara Shiralai Raghupati Kinhi Bohut Barai Tumama Priya Bharataya Samabhai Sasabadan Tumaro Jasagawan Asakar Shri Pati Kantalagawan Sanakadika Brahmadi Munisa Narada Sharada Saita Ahisa Yamakubera Digapala Jahante Kabiko Bidakai Sake Kahante Upakara Sugriva Inkinha Rama Melaya Raja Padadinha Tumaro Mantra Bibhishana Mana Lankeshwara Bhai Sabha Jagajana Yuga Sahasra Jojana Parabana Ilyotai Madhurapalajana Prabhu Mudrika Mili Mukamahi Jala Dilange Gaye Achara Janahi Durgama Kaja Jagat Ke Jete Sugama Anugraha Tumare Te Te Rama Duware Tumarakovare Kotana Agya Binu Pesare Sab Sukla He Tumhari Sharana Tumhara Chakakar Ukodaran Apan Teja Samaro Ape Tino Loka Hankaten Kampe Bhuta Pisashan Katan Hiave Mahavir Jabnam Sunave Nasero Gare Sabapira Japata Nirantara Hanumatabir Sankatate Hanuman Churave Manakama Bachana Dhyana Jolave Sabapara Tapasviraja Tinake Kaja Sakalatum Saja और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे सोवे अमित जीवन पल पावे चारों युग परताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियार साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे, अष्ट सिद्धियों निधि के दाता, असवर दीन जानकी माता, राम रसायन तुम्हारे पास सदा रहो, रघुपति के दास तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे, अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हर भक्त कहाई, और देवता चित्त न डरे, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करे, संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमेरे हनुमत बलबीरा, जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई, जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई, चित ही बंदी महासुख होए, जोया पर हनुमान चालीसा, होया सिद्धि साकी गाड़ीसा, तुलसीदास सदा चेरा, कीजे नाथ हृदय मंदिर, पवन तनय संकट हरण, मंगल मूर्ति रूप सिया राम, राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसौ सुरभूप, श्यावर रामचंद्र पद जय शरणम, मंगल मूर्ति मारुतनंदन, सकल मंगल मूलन कंद, मंगल मूर्ति मारुतनंदन, सकल मंगल मूलन कंदन, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, राम जय जय राम, श्री 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 राम जय राम, जय सिया राम जय जय हनुमान, संकट मोचन कृपा निधान, जय सिया राम जय जय हनुमान, संकट मोचन कृपा निधान, जय सिया राम जय जय हनुमान, करुणा सागर कृपा निधान, जय सिया राम जय जय हनुमान, करुणा सागर कृपा निधान, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम। Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu, Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu, Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu, Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. 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 If we know anything about a path at all, it's only because of the great beings that have gone before us. Out of their love, out of their kindness, they left some footprints for us to follow. So, in the same way that they wish for us, in the same way that they wish for us, we wish that all beings everywhere, all of us, be safe, be happy, that all of us have good health and enough to eat. And may we live in peace and that ease of heart with whatever comes to us in life. Chanting.